Hey guys, my name is Neel and welcome to Neel Workshop Zone. So in this episode we're going to be talking about Python maths or some important functions regarding to mathematics. So in our previous episode we talked about Python dates, which if you haven't checked it out, I recommend checking that episode out. But in this episode we're going to be talking about some functions related to maths. So let's say we take a small example to understand some of the functions and how to understand them. So let's just say you're writing a code and you have a lot of numbers. So let's say you have 30 to 40 numbers for an example. And imagine now you need to write down the highest value and the lowest value of those 40 to 50 numbers, and you don't know which number is the highest. So let's say you have something like class Neel. Let's say you have x is equals to 469,327, 229,000, or let's say 229,469, and 672,981, 738,469, and imagine there are like 30 to 40 numbers like this. And imagine you want to find out the highest value and the lowest value. So instead of just counting them and having the value, what you can do is you can use a function known as min-max. So what you can do is print min and in brackets write x, and by using this it will bring down the lowest value, and by using print max x it will bring out the highest value. So this is how you can find out the lowest or the highest value of any set of numbers. So now let's take some other function. So imagine I have another set of numbers, this time 5 to 10 numbers. Now let's just take for example 5 numbers. And imagine not all 5 numbers are positive. So for example, let's say x is equal to minus 72, minus 62, and let's take minus 31. Let's take a normal positive integer like 24 and 27. So imagine you don't want any negative numbers and want to turn all of them into positive. Instead of just just going back and changing the signs, what you can do is you can use the function known as abs. So what you can do is you can say print abs, which is the absolute value x. So by doing this, what it does is it basically converts all of these negative integers into positive. And you might be thinking, if it converts negative integers into positive integers, will it also convert the positive into negative because it's reversing the negative and the positive? The answer is no, actually. So if you have a positive integer, it remains positive, but if you have a negative, it turns into positive. So that is how absolute function works. Now let's talk about POWXY. So let's write another class, and let's say this time you have a number. So let's say you have the number 2. And imagine if you want to find out the 2 to the power 4 of the number, let's say 2 to the power of 5. So instead of just doing the math, so 2 to the 4, 4 to the 8, 8 to the 16, instead of doing that or just writing 2 into 2 into 2, what you can directly do is you can use a function known as POWXY. So again, just write a class, and let's say x is equals to let's say 2 and y is equals to 5. Now by using the function print POW in the brackets x and y value, so 2 comma 5, by using this, what basically happens is it takes the y value and uses it as a power of this value. So it takes the y value and uses it as a power of x. So basically it becomes 2 to the power of 5. So by doing this, after getting the number to the power of 5, basically it turns it into a normal number. So 2 to the 4, 4 to the 8, 8 to the 16, 16 to 32. So the answer is 32. and the answer will be 32, it will be printed 32. So this is how POW works. It basically can be used to find out the power or to find out power of two individual numbers. So now let's talk about the remaining types of Python mathematics related functions. So before we talk about the remaining function, there's still one important detail that I haven't mentioned yet, and that detail is actually the maths module. So if you don't know, basically maths module is a thing or a module from which you can actually print out extra math modules. So for example, like I said in the previous episode, you don't really have the variable for dates, and just like that you can actually import a module to create new dates. And just in a similar manner, you can also import a module or a maths module in this case to bring out more functions and more complicated functions to better help you when you're doing advanced code. So for example, let me write down some advanced mathematical functions. So let's take one or two. So let's say, for example, we take a class. Let's say we import math. Let's write two of the mathematical functions available in the math module. So let's write something like math dot square root is, let's say, 25, and let's say print x. So basically we said that x is the square root of 25, so we use the square root, and we're asking to print x, and the square root of 25 is 5 because 5 multiplies with itself to to get the product of 25. So the answer is 5. So like that you can find out the square root of a number, and not only that, you can also use the pi. So you can use x is equals to pi to find out the pi, which is 3.14, around 3.14, and there are a lot of models like that, but you probably won't use it in the code, so we'll probably talk about it in the practical episode. So yeah, hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you don't miss out any new videos, and that's all folks, and see you in the next one. Bye bye.